Alright, so the third video for the day is Twitter suspends researcher who exposed Antifa journalist connections. So Twitter has suspended the account of Elon Lillian, I might be mispronouncing, a researcher who mapped out the connections between mainstream journalists and the violent far-left Antifa movement on Twitter following a mass reporting campaign by left-wing activists. Lian published the results of his research at Quillette. By the way, we have that article, so thank you very much for the Streisand effect, where he explained the twofold objective of the project. First, to discover the journalists who were the most closely linked to the Antifa via social media. Second, to discover if these journalists covered the extremist movement favourably or negatively. So, the basic report is, in October 2018, my research partner and I decided to investigate the truth of this impression by using a mix of network mapping and logistic analysts to see which prominent journalists who covered Antifa were also closely connected to leading Antifa figures on social media. We then inspected the Antifa-related stories these journalists had written. We created a data set of 58,254 Antifa or Antifa-associated Twitter accounts based on the followers of 16 verified Antifa seed accounts. Using a software tool that analyzes the numbers and the nature of the connections associated with each individual account, we windowed the 58,254 Antifa and Antifa-associated Twitter accounts down to 962 accounts. This represents a core group of the Twitter users who are connected in the overlap, the ways the most influential and widely followed Antifa figures of those 962 accounts, and 22 were found to be verified, which 15 were journalists who work regularly with the national level news outlets. The journalists include contributors to The Guardian, the New Republic, Al Jazeera, and the Huffington Post. Unsurprisingly, Linus' analysis of the journalists who might mingle with Antifa on Twitter found that none of them covered the movement critically. Big friggin' surprise. That correlation turned out to be quite pronounced. Out of all the 15 verified national level journalists in our subset, we couldn't find a single article by any of them that was marked critically of Antifa in any way. In all cases, their work in this area consisted primarily of downplaying Antifa violence while advancing Antifa talking points, and in some cases, quoting Antifa extremists if they were impartial experts. Since publishing his findings, Linning has had his Twitter mass reported on Twitter. Mass reporting is when an account is swarmed by trolls who abuse the report button with the hopes of tricking a tech platform's algorithm into automatically suspending them. Of course, with much of Silicon Valley now categorized ordinary conservative speech as violence for their terms of service, this is increasingly easy. Linnon's account has now been suspended by Twitter for more than 2 days. And we do actually have the Quillette article. It's not your imagination. Journalists writing about Antifa are often their cheerleaders. And it's quite a long article, actually. So, yeah. He's given examples and everything. Should I release another Nazi Discord docs today or nah? I've heard about that. So here's the map. I think that's Chelsea Manning there. So I'll put a link to the Quillette article below, so you can obviously go through and check it out. Do I think he's been suspended off the platform because of the article? Yeah, most likely. I think at the end of the day that people have mass reported it, sure. But I think that at the end of the day, Twitter is not in a hurry. Oh, okay, cool. I don't think at the end of the day that Twitter is in any hurry to unban this guy. Yeah. They probably know it's a false flag campaign. But yeah. But yeah. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not surprised. I'm really not. So, yeah. Is anybody actually surprised by this article, though, to be honest? I'm not. But let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Actually, before I go, non-partisan media, just writing for Quinlet gets you in trouble. Ha ha ha. Yeah, true. But yeah, guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below.